Conversate for a few.
Welcome to the next episode of Conversate For A Few. I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This is not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely is not. This is a podcast about hip hop. What we doing today, bro?
Oh man, let's talk about how bad contracts kill good music.
All right. Okay.
For years, with you and many other artists and just hip hop heads, right? We've talked about like what happened, like to the quality of music that we felt there was an influx of a lot of great music coming out. And then it kind of, at a certain point, we start noticing not just the changeover in the music, but kind of like the quality not being so good and a shift kind of being focused on just the money as opposed to the quality of music. And so we all talked about how it's a business, so they want to make money. Mm-hmm. So we understood that. We talked about that aspect. We've covered many times how people, we used to call it getting raped, right? Mm-hmm. Like artists getting raped by their through their contracts from whatever company they're signed to. And we're like, yeah, but the counter to that was always, well, they should have read their contract thoroughly and, people, all of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But as I was thinking more about it, therein lies the problem right there. Mm-hmm. Is bad contracts. Like whether, here's the problem. Record companies doing bad contracts because they want to keep most of the money,
right? And
kind of keep the artists, for the most part, kind of ignorant and blind to really the inner dealings of their contract.
Right.
Just it's kind of like the coaches of teams shut up and just go and play ball.
That's exactly what it is.
Don't worry about the business. The execs, we gonna worry about that.
And until you're a star player, you don't have enough weight to tell the GM who the coach is going to be.
You don't have enough weight to negotiate.
You don't have the leverage to ask for, even if you see your contract is bad.
You can't ask for the books.
You can't ask for the books. You know what I mean? And early on, even if you see your contract is, if they offer it to you and your lawyer is telling you like, I might not sign that one, dog, but you don't really have any leverage to negotiate the contract.
Right.
Really, all you can do is walk away from the contract or sign it.
Right.
And some artists, I do believe, have the fortitude to work through that first bad contract into something that makes sense. Right. But artists are very temperamental, and I could see how being in a bad contract could definitely work you into not wanting to work at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like easy.
Right. And so, and that's kind of my conclusion I came to, is that even though from the label perspective, they may have felt like they're getting over, right? But in truth is, they could have got a better product. Like, this is what happened to the music business because it was so new. Number one, no one thought hip hop was going to stay around that long to be such a viable financial option. Right. And so as it grew in business, the business, which happens a lot of times, starts to affect the creativity of the artist. You know what I mean? And this is why a lot of times a lot of people, like and I'm putting quote spiritual people, when they focusing on spiritual things, they don't like to deal with the business stuff because they know if they have to deal with the business, it affects.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The expression of their spirituality.
That's right.
Right? They leave that to other people because it always somehow ends up tainting.
It is going to
the artistry or your expression. Yeah. So I'm looked at it like I was thinking like, why do we get bad albums? The reason I believe is because of bad contracts. It's because when people start realizing, I owe 6 more albums.
Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna add a caveat, right?
Okay.
I do believe that is why we get bad albums from great artists.
Yes. Because they're trying to fulfill an obligation. Exactly. And it's not the same as when they just doing it out of love. Right. You got people that get frustrated, like Lupe was with I forgot the label.
Was it Atlantic or RCA?
Atlantic.
Atlantic, yeah.
Right. Yeah. and you just want to you just throw stuff out. And I've heard so many artists say that
Joe
it's now
Budden.
interviews, they just threw stuff out just to get
Bad,
to fulfill the contract.
Bad contracts ruined Joe Budden's career.
Right, it did.
You know what I mean? It tanked the whole thing. When we first started, something.
He's sorry. Don't forget that thought.
No, I wrote it down.
I just want to say that Joe Budden is the poster child for what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you can hear up to this day the bitterness.
Yeah.
And the bitterness and the sour taste for the industry that's still left over. You can hear it from him all the time.
Yeah, if you listen to his show, he might not speak on it specifically, and he does often. But even if he's not speaking on it specifically, you can hear what you're talking about, that bitterness, that that incompleteness, that being made to feel like you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Even though you're better than most, but they're not going to treat you like that. That's just not how that's not how the system is built. But one thing that when you first started, something jumped into my my thoughts. It was I just wrote down NWA to Death Row to Aftermath. Right? Bad contracts at Ruthless left NWA without a leg to stand on quality wise.
Yes.
Right? That the quality moved over to Death Row. Once the contracts got crazy at Death Row, the quality moved on to Aftermath, and the quality of music at Death Row declined.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like everywhere that the contracts were bad, you could see that. And once everything leveled out over at Aftermath, we kept getting classic material.
Right.
You know what I mean? You stopped hearing about complaints about money.
Right.
And you started to get successful content over and over and over again without there having to be a breakup.
Right. And this is because it's a simple formula. If the artists are happy, they're going to produce a good quality product. They're going to be more inspired. Right. They're going to be more incentivized to perform at the top peak.
Yeah. But the difference is in these situations, ultimately when we got the Aftermath, we got to a place where it was quality driven.
Yeah.
Not product driven.
Yeah.
Like unless the product is high quality, it was never going to see the light of day at Aftermath.
Right. It won't even coming out.
It won't even coming out. At Ruthless, when NWA was there, the quality of music was good when Dr. Dre was involved, but when he left, they did not care. They kept churning out music. That label is going to keep trying to eat. Damn the quality. You see what I'm saying? If the quality declines, then albeit, but we putting out music. You know what I mean? You know the quality of music declined at Death Row once Dre left. There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. I mean, Daz was doing his thing and all that, but they don't have the production mind and foresight and the ability to actually executive produce the way Dre did. You know what I mean? So once those contracts turned bad and he said, okay, this ain't where I want to be, so went the quality of music at Death Row.
Yeah.
You know? But by that point, it was a greed machine.
Yeah.
So they're gonna keep trying to put out music, but you see that the quality is gonna wane. You know, when you get over the Aftermath, in comparison, think about how much product you got from Aftermath in comparison to how much you got from Death Row and NWA combined. Far less product from Aftermath.
Yeah.
Far less product from Aftermath. He only signed, I mean, you know what I mean? Far less product, but the quality of that music was always high.
Yes.
Was always high. If Dre put his hands on it, was always high. You know, we can't say that about everything that happened at Death Row. We can't say that about everything that happened at Ruthless.
Right.
And I think, to your point, contracts had a lot to do with that, or the lack thereof.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, this is the funny. So this is the thing. When we talk about product, like a true artist, they see what they're creating as art first and a product second.
Right.
The execs and the label sees it only as product.
Right.
So they don't care. So which means they're not valuing to the same degree, if at all, the quality of the product. They just put it out. We got product.
Right.
We need to make money.
And you know why that is though? They can't discern.
Yeah.
They don't know the difference between quality and you know, and product. They don't know. They know that. They know. I'll put it to you this way. I'm certain they can probably sense it if you walk into the room, whether you're a product or whether you're an artist. I think they've been doing this long enough to be able to see that at this point, right? But most of these people aren't record men. So if you take the physical being in the room, their presence out, and just play two different records, I don't think most of them can tell you which one is the quality record and which one is the product.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because they can't do that, they don't care. They just care about which one's gonna sell.
Right. But I'm glad we at this point, because this is, I'm gonna call it, this is the musical blind spot of record labels. That is they only concern, right, about, like, okay, number one, they most time don't know. Right. But they're only looking for the thing that really will sell. But what they don't understand, the blind spot is there is quality music that will sell, right? Things that are considered hits, there are hits that are also great songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they don't even, for me, I think that to them is mind blowing. They didn't even.
It's mind blowing in hip hop. Because they know it.
We gotta be right about that.
They know it in pop. They know it in country.
Right.
They know it in rock. Because you got to understand, you got people like Diane Warren, some of the greatest songwriters of all time. They wouldn't exist if the labels didn't know it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But this genre of music is foreign to them still.
Yeah.
They still dealing from the outside in. When it comes to the labels, you know, unless it's a label that like Bad Boy or a label like QC. You know what I mean? Or a label like TDE, they can discern.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you can't, I don't trust that Leo Cohen could tell me who was hot.
Oh, nah.
You know what I mean? I don't trust that he could do that. I trust that he could tell me what fans told him was hot.
Right.
You know, and I trust that if he walked in a room with DMX, he could sense that energy and be like, oh, that's a star.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I trust that. But if you played Get At Me, Dog, and you played Niggas Done Started Something, I don't know that he could tell me which one of those is the hit.
Yeah. That's a great point.
You know? So
I understand exactly that.
There is a musical blind spot. The whole thing is a blind spot for them because they don't know.
Right.
So they're gonna lean towards product.
Yeah.
They have to lean towards product. If they tried to lean towards the art, the whole shit would sink because they don't know the difference between art and product.
True.
So they're playing it safe from their regard. We're like, yo, we don't want the safety because we want the art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they like, yo, but back to your point too, they don't give a damn whether it's art or whether it's product. They're gonna offer the same contract.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're gonna offer that. They're gonna offer you the product contract.
Yeah.
You know?
They're gonna offer you they're gonna give you the contract that is most in their favor.
In
which they can get the most product out of you for the cheapest amount. And in turn, you're gonna feel cheap. Yep.
And if you're not producing it fast enough, and if you signed it for too long, you're gonna feel used. You know, and that's either gonna force you to not do it, or force you to get in some bullshit just so they get out your face. You know, another person that I would say they took from us with this stuff. I won't say it's bad contracts. Well, maybe it's bad contracts from a different. I think they took Lauryn Hill from us in this way. That's
funny. Yeah, I agree with that. And she's one of the people I was going to mention too.
I think they did it with bad advice though.
Yeah,
they did it with bad advice, and they caused her to offer the bad contracts. You know what I mean? And it took her through so much turmoil, in my opinion, and she was like, "Man, the hell with this shit. I'm done."
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. That's what I'm looking at. Like, there's a lot of broken artists. Like, I mean, their spirit is broken. They love the music.
Yeah.
They love the game and came into it. They love to make music.
Yep.
And then when the business, like when the contracts
Mm-hmm.
got introduced, then something else happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the ones that want to try to honor or fulfill the contract, no matter how crazy it is, they do so under great distress
Yeah.
and mental anguish, and we get terrible
Yeah.
albums.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, like people just trying to rush through, so they just put stuff out.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think that's why while some of Nas albums weren't so good.
Mm.
I think that now watch
Mm.
this. I'm gonna do a comparison, and I'll let you. You know, what I mean, you tell me what you think, because it'll be something wrong in there somewhere. But if you compare Nas from, let's say, 94 to 2002, and compare Jay
Yeah.
from 96 to 2002, it was a reason why Jay was leading.
Yeah.
It still is for the most part, but leading in having better albums. Because really, when you look at it, Jay, he's controlling more of
Yeah.
the way his music is being put out.
Having great
And
product
more
is
level.
is having great product is feeding Jay-Z directly. Like directly. You know what I mean? It's a direct reflection. Nas having great product is only a fulfillment
Right.
of a contract. So I completely understand what you're saying. Like it's like having to get up for a big game. You know, a lot of people say I can't get up for games, so I know I ain't playing nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z knew every game was a big game because every single game he played, game being an album, you know what I mean? Like directly impacted his company.
Exactly.
His bottom line.
Exactly.
Nas is like, if I'm not in a good place right now with, I mean, hell, he did an album called Hip Hop Is Dead. He did an album called Nigga. You think, like, those two albums, you think that space and time he was happy with the label?
You know he wasn't.
You can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I agree. I agree with your point.
And so that's the thing, which is also it's funny. Another good point is the more creative control the artists have, the happier they are, the better the quality come out. You don't really, and to be honest, like look at Jay coming in the door, having their own company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I mean, and making great quality music. He pretty much had leverage from the door.
Yeah, from the jump.
Negotiating power. So the funny thing is, you've never gotten a terrible album from Jay.
Nah.
Even albums that we may be like, well, he kind of missed on that one.
Yeah.
And there are two that he missed. But even so, they're not terrible.
Nah.
The majority of what Jay put out is a home run.
Right. Happy artist.
Right. See,
Happy
and
artist.
you never heard of him upset about this or that kind. You never heard any of that.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't get no Hip Hop Is Dead album from him.
That's right. That's right. That makes total sense. Yeah. That makes total sense. Wow. I mean, I bet if we use this logic, right? And trace back through, I bet we can find the unhappy moments in a lot of people's careers just based on the quality of their albums.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think we probably could. I mean, hell, you could do it with Ye's albums. The ones that people say are the worst albums are the ones where he was in the most turmoil.
Right.
You know what I mean? It might not have been with the label per se, but it was with companies, entities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was having the same problem.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that would be Yeezus and Pablo for most people, you know. And then, of course, the Ye album. But, I mean, but what's the way around this, though? I don't know that you can.
So the way around it, it's so funny. I don't even know if there's a way around it. I think the only way to correct it is for labels to be more transparent.
All right. Yeah.
When they sit down, meaning like an artist shouldn't come back after their first album and be like, oh damn, I owe you 7 more albums and I ain't even getting paid yet from the first album. Because he's still trying to recoup money or whatever. You know what I mean?
He shouldn't come back that way, but most times when they come back that way, it's their damn fault. It's not the label's fault that they come back that way. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do a certain level of education on your own.
I agree.
Before, if you sign that contract and you don't know that you owe 7 albums, you a fucking idiot.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be out of your mind to sign something and don't know how long you in the contract. You know, so I mean, but that was just an example. I know, but they don't know the information. I think this is my part of the show where I put some onus on the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First of all, you always gonna get your feelings hurt if you set improper expectations. So they need to be setting proper expectations from the jump. First of all, know the business. Know that you never gonna make a dime until you recoup what they gave you. That's the first thing you need to know. If you're going to take money from somebody and go to work for them, you don't make no more money until you make back what they already gave you.
Yeah.
And another thing they need to know is that everything they give you counts towards what they gave you. If it's a sandwich at Subway, a private jet, a bottle at the club, entry into the club, I don't care what it is. If you didn't come out your pocket for it, you owe them for it.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, they're gonna overcharge you for it.
Yeah. Of course.
You know what I mean? This studio costs $100 an hour, but for your ass, it costs $300 an hour. And you love being in here. That extra $200 an hour goes to us.
Right.
And it also prevents us from ever having to pay you. So we eat off everything you do forever. You see what I mean? So these are things that artists need to know going in the door. Like if you go, if you on your 3rd album and then you walk into the label complaining about this shit, you deserve every bit of it. You know what I mean? Because how long was you, God damn, we've been doing this shit since the 80s, bro.
Right.
In hip hop, in music as a whole, it's been happening forever. So it's like, okay, as an artist, it's hard for me to. I do have sympathy for him, but it's hard for me to understand the naive artist or the artist that blows up and be like, "Damn, I'm in a bubble." Like your ass didn't know you was going on TV every day, making music videos, doing interviews. Like you were trying to get famous, and now that you're famous, it's bothering you. You know what I mean? Like I understand it, I get it. But it's hard for me to be sympathetic. Just like it's hard for me to be sympathetic about somebody in a bad contract. You know what I mean? I can be, but it's hard. I just, but I am sympathetic to ones that get the art driven out of them.
Yeah. That's what, because see, that's what I'm getting. So that's another part. So this is the other part. The other part of this dealing with bad contracts, or we can say bad business, killing the quality of music, right? So it's not about the album. Say the artist knows the contract, he understands it, he knows the album's old, he knows the advance and how that works. And, okay, but this ties directly into Joe Budden and some of the other artists that we know. I would mention. It's funny because it fits Nas. Fit 50 Cent at a time, but
does it fit the locks?
Does
it fit the locks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. We on the same page. Okay.
Where there is, you know what I mean? There is contention over what to put on the album, what's going to be released.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that killed the artists when they're forced to put out something. These songs that they recorded, but they don't really like. But the label wants this one to go, but they're like, no, I like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
And then they get upset because they were forced. And Joe Budden, this happened with most of his album. Yeah. He talked about all of the other songs that he had recorded that was going to go out. And the label's like, nah, nope, we putting these out. Focus. And let me tell you, his first album is one of the worst albums I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's a terrible album.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah, I mean, they did it to T-Pain too. Like after he got hot, this is one of the stories he tells. It's like the label took back control by saying, okay, we let you pick these and you've been at, so let us pick one. And they picked one and the shit tanked. And then they basically blamed it on him and said, well, since the last one tanked, you got to let us choose everything else. You see what I'm saying? Like he was doing... I think that's another thing. Like if you're doing so well, they don't want you to have enough leverage to get out of your contract either.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? They don't want you to have they don't want you to have your masters back. They don't want you to recoup.
Mm-hmm.
That's the catch, you know.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got to do to make sure that you can get your masters and you can recoup. But yeah, you right. That I don't know how to feel about that though, because I've been in situations where we've had artists sign. You know what I mean? Like from management standpoint, production company standpoint, and they like songs that I know damn well shouldn't see the light of day. And I know that I'm not gonna put my money behind putting that bullshit out.
But look, that you're saying that as an artist, producer, like you saying that you're
closer to Drake.
Leo Cohen ain't never made the beats that you made. He ain't never wrote the songs or recorded the songs you made. You see? So from your perspective, I get that, and that makes sense, right?
Right.
But most of these label execs, they ain't never did it.
I hear you.
They don't, you know what I mean?
I hear you. They looking at analytics. They looking at numbers. I hear you.
Right.
I hear you. They not going on what actually sound good. That's
right.
True. Yeah, I hear you.
And there's been so many people that this happened to.
Yeah.
Like, nah, we not putting this out. No, do another song. Not that song. That's not gonna be your single. Do another one.
Yeah.
And that happened with the Lox. And the Lox, they never. The Lox most notable songs and biggest songs are songs that wasn't. And I'm gonna use this terminology just so people can understand what I mean. If you know the era, you know the songs that are the most notable for are not puffy push songs.
They're not jiggy.
Right. They're not jiggy. You saw what happened.
Yeah. They're not jiggy songs. You're right. But I would say their best songs was songs that was on Bad Boy, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely though. Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, their best songs was the ones they did on Bad Boy. But
absolutely. Now it's funny. Now I will make a case. I will play devil's advocate against even what I'm saying, because as I'm glad you made that point. And the reason why I'm glad you made that point is because one of the most beloved artists in hip hop that you don't hear no one say nothing bad about this man. Everyone loves him and knows he's crazy talented and gifted at rhyming, but he has never to this day given us a great album. He don't got one damn classic. Jadakiss.
That's a fact.
Not one.
Yeah, not one.
He don't make good albums.
He don't. So he needs a label that could tell him how to do that thing. But he needs, okay, so maybe we need to differentiate then, all right? Because just saying someone needs a record label don't mean he need to go to RCA or Atlantic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he needed to be somewhere like Bad Boy, TDE, Dreamville. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Where he could be himself and do art and let somebody else worried about making it a commodity. Yeah. You know, like lock in, do your art, and let us worry about the rest of it. You see what I'm saying? But a team with a strong musical foundation. Right. He was on a team with a strong street foundation. Yeah. And they just happened to work their way into the music business. And that, in my opinion, goes for the entire Rough Rider sound. So. Right. And that's why I love that line from Kanye song Touch the Sky when he said, I felt like Bad Boy Street Team. I couldn't work the lots. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I don't know who wrote it, but I get it. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I wonder if being in a bad contract, I know me. So being in a bad contract would have made me do some wild shit. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't have made you write Young Guns. I don't know that it would have made me do bad music, but I bet it would have made me run up in the label with Young Guns. Oh, yeah. See, but I'm glad you said that. So now let's get to that part of, that's another reason why bad business can kill good quality music. Yeah. It's just not, I think as a whole in hip hop, the business, however it's done, it needs to be revamped and done better so that it's in the interest and favor of everybody. Because when Cam was in the bad deal, they wouldn't let him out the deal, that he went with 50 Bloods into the office. Yeah.
And smacked up I think it was Dave Lady.
Hey, but they showed in the movie where Ice Cube ran up in Brian Turner office at Warner Brothers and tore shit up with the bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so this is it is a thing that people have had to do, and that's the thing. You don't know how to handle it because you that lack of control to make people, especially if you got a certain element in you anyway, and then somebody go take the control from you and play with you like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's one thing I was gonna say. They got you by the balls because you quote unquote in the building now, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if the people in the building don't like you, I don't give a damn how good your music is. You will not be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you under this bad contract and you disgruntled, you go into the building. You still you see what I'm saying? You can't go in that building acting a fool because these people. They are directly tied to your success.
Right.
So you just gotta eat that bad contract. Or be blackballed. Or you know what I mean?
Yep.
Your hands are tied. Mm-hmm. So I do understand why people say I can't just stop making music. You know what I mean? Like what I'm gonna do, my livelihood. But I hate that they decide to cut their nose off to spite their face and just give us quick albums to get out of contracts.
I do not like that because it ends up tarnishing their would-be future legacy, and they end up losing fans. You end up losing people.
Yeah, I feel they do.
Because regardless of what you say, regardless of the reason why you put out that mediocre album, we have to still objectively give out or non-objectively give our opinion of it. You put it out, so we got to speak on it.
You got to be a bad motherfucker to brave the storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have a contract, have success, realize it's foul, work yourself out of that contract, and find real success again.
Right.
I have one person in mind that actually did that, and that's Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But look. Now I'm going to get back on myself, but that's because the person that helped him, right, was doing good business.
That's right.
Suge, when he was going back and forth with Suge, they had their falling out. He was signed. He said his car and his home was in Suge's name.
I know.
He said when he met Master P. Now watch the mind. See, I'm showing the mindsets of execs. When Master P, he links up with Master P, he said the first thing he did was he took me and my wife around to see houses, and he bought a house and put it in my name, and bought a car and put it in my name.
Right.
He said that's the first time he ever had this stuff in his name.
The first
now,
time.
Showed you how two execs handle business. See, one mentality is honestly a slave maker, slave owner mentality exec. Yeah. And then there's another one that they want to make money, but they also see value in you and want you to exercise your freedom too.
That's right. And that's how it should be.
Right. So everybody, P gonna make money, but you as the artist giving me good product, you gonna make money.
Oh yeah. And you get the length in your career so you can get to be on TV with Martha Stewart one day. You get the length, you see what I'm saying? Where, you know, it's like you get to stay a valuable product.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I'm glad you brought Snoop up, man. It literally hurt me to hear him say in 2022 or 2021, I think the interview, he said he ain't made any money off of none of that stuff. Do you understand? I thought he had made millions.
Not off of record sales.
He didn't make nothing off of that stuff.
Recoup. Now. If I went and bought a $10 million house and let you live in it, and went and bought a couple Rolls Royces to let you drive them, that's all on your bill that you got to pay me back before you ever see a dime. You see what I'm saying? You see how far you can get in the hole, and that ain't got nothing to do with the advance I gave you. That's chump change. When I'm gonna tell you I paid 3 times what I paid for this stuff. Yeah,
I got good. I'm glad we saying this. I got 2 wild cards to throw at you right now.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first one is, do you think Pac, if Pac would have lived to now, would he be complaining about his contract?
Man, Pop would have been complaining about his contract in the next 3 years if he'd have stayed alive. That was coming.
Because I'm thinking about how Suge said when they met him, like he gave him a briefcase full of money and jewelry, and you know what I mean.
Pop was broke. Do you hear me? When it comes to his own money, Pop didn't have no money. I would guarantee that. I would bet the rest of the money that I'm gonna make for the rest of my life that when Pop died, he didn't have any money. You understand what I'm saying?
And we know that because we can extrapolate just
Yep.
based off of how he was doing with Snoop.
Yep.
So I know how you're running your business.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
when you say he met when you got him out of jail and the first thing you did, you gave him a suitcase full of money and jewelry. Oh, so you saying you gave him advancements and stuff he got to hold back?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
this is the thing. You immediately start putting him in debt.
Immediately. But that's what hustlers do. I don't never want you out of debt with me. You know what I mean? Like, because you got to keep coming back. Like, I just keep fronting you. You keep bringing me my change. I make more like that.
Right. This is exactly, now I still got my other wild card, but this is exactly what you're saying. You know what I mean? Is exactly what happened in the BMF series.
Yeah. With Pat.
Right. And he was like, man, I don't want them. He ain't want him to get from up under him.
That's right. How do you continue to make bread if the people that work for you get on your level?
Right.
That means your ass got to go out there and work. Who the hell want to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
here is my second wild card.
All right.
And so, okay, I'm gonna just throw it out there. Ari Lennox.
Wow.
Now the reason why I'm throwing this out there is because I heard on another podcast some stuff about how she feeling, what she tweeted, and
yeah, I heard that.
Already put music. So, and this is, you know what I mean, this is close to home, I guess.
Yeah.
Somewhat. So I'm just trying to figure out, what do you think is going on there? Because the people that we know on that side
are fair.
They're creatives.
Yeah, and I would imagine are fair. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound sexist, and I don't want to sound misogynistic. You know what I mean? I don't want to. But I will say this too. The game treats women differently.
That's true.
They have to go through a level of stuff that we don't experience.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like she's likely getting her art challenged. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She's likely being what's the word I'm looking at? Not necessarily harassed, but she's being disrespected based on her sexuality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like she can't just walk in the room and be an artist. She gotta walk in the room and be sexy. She gotta walk in the room and be all, you know what I mean, all types of things. So I'm imagining that is probably wearing on her as much as with this specific situation, how she started talking shit about the labels this last time.
Yeah.
I think that was more about the promotion process and who they had her sit in front of and how disrespectful and how bad that went.
Yeah.
I think she's blaming those people for that interaction just as much as she is the person that interviewed her.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's less about the contracts and the money. Just like when SZA complains, it's less about I'm not getting paid as it is about they won't let me put this music out as fast as I want to. You see what I'm saying? Like it's that kind of thing. It's like I don't know that Ari is complaining about her contract being bad. I think she's more complaining about how she's being protected or not being protected and what she's being exposed to.
Right. And the reason I asked that, and it's not because I don't think she's complaining about contracts either, but why don't she put out more? Why isn't she giving us more music?
Well, I don't know.
It's all speculation.
I would say it's probably
speculation because we don't know.
I'd say it's harder for her to make that shit. Like you can't make what she making.
Because of the bad contract. No, I'm joking.
but you see what I'm saying? Like for what she's doing, you can't just go put together an Ari Lennox album as fast as you can a J. Cole album, in my opinion.
No, I feel you.
Like hip hop is faster. It's a faster process than what she's doing. she may be a temperamental artist, and she might work slow to the motherfucker. She might write slow. You see what I'm saying? True. She might not make a lot of good music, bro. She might make a lot of music, but out of 50 songs, 10 of them shits is what's real.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But in her heart, she might believe all 50 of these shits got it.
Mm-hmm.
But the label is like, no, we gonna wait on the right 10 to 12. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Same shit they do to SZA. You know what I mean? Like, everybody don't have that discernment. I'm not saying that she don't have it, but I mean, everybody don't have it. Some people think everything they do is fire, and that's just not fucking true.
Right, it's not true.
It's just not true. You know, so if you got an artist that think everything they touch is fire, you got to tell them no a lot. They waiting way longer. They waiting about the same amount of time as the regular artists, but they think they waiting longer because they thought they was ready before this other artist thought they was ready.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So because I believe in Dreamville, I'm blaming it on Ari.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's a fucked up way to think about it, but if Luke or Boss was talking shit, I'd blame it on them before I would Dreamville at this point.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Dreamville has a track record of doing shit right, and I ain't heard nobody else complain but her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the shit she complained about is like the internet is getting to her. Like,
right, the internet. Yeah,
stay the fuck off the internet then.
Right, simple fix.
The fuck? So yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, that kind of thing. But you was saying something earlier about people being made to put out music. Did you hear Rod Wave was complaining because he got this song about Blue December that's out, and it came, Blue December that dropped this January, and he didn't want to put it out, and he was like, yo, these labels is, they'll force you to be somebody you don't want to be, and if you the type of nigga that'll do something for $300,000, then you'll be somebody else. You know what I mean? And he's he just ain't like that. And he was trying, basically the same complaints. Like the business is fucking with his art.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell these folks, man.
I don't know unless they negotiate some type of creative control clause in their contract.
Something you said earlier too, though. I don't know if they can negotiate themselves out of this because artistry is a spiritual thing, in my opinion. Yeah. And once you start mixing your spirit with commerce, you gonna taint your spirit.
Absolutely.
So I don't know that they can. I don't know that you could put your spiritual self, your spiritual artistic self, into that game and not. And I mean, you can navigate it, but you're gonna take some damage.
Yeah.
Your spirit is gonna take some damage. I don't know how it would.
Yeah. So would you say that they need better lawyers that know how to better protect their interests or represent their interests when they initially sign these contracts?
I would say yes, they need better lawyers to educate them on what it is that they're actually signing. Because I don't think a better lawyer could negotiate anything that you don't have leverage to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, having a better lawyer is not going to be able to negotiate into having your masters if you don't have enough value for them to give you your fucking masters. They're going to send you and your lawyer packing. But what your lawyer can do is set a proper expectation and tell you these are the things that mean something in a record contract. These are the things, you know what I mean? These are the things that mean something in a publishing deal. This is what your publishing means. This is what recoup means. You see what I'm saying? I think a lawyer that cares about you enough to tell you these things so that you ain't surprised 3 albums in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that type of lawyer is what's necessary.
That's true. I agree with that.
Yeah. And do they exist? Yeah. Are they plentiful? Nah. I don't think so. I mean, shit, the lawyers been working in the label system for years. So where you think they friends at?
Right. And bad if your lawyer is the lawyer of the label.
Hey, I told you Carl Canal tried to get us like that.
Yeah.
He offered us the contract. We were like, yo, we not signing until we talk to our lawyer. And he was like, well, we got a lawyer for you. Well, I was like, shit, we'll talk to him, but we're not signing nothing until we get our own lawyer. Like, that's your lawyer.
Right.
The fuck he gonna do for me?
Right.
But we come all the way back to North Carolina from Cali, get our lawyer, right? Mm-hmm. Tell him what our situation is. He hops on the phone and calls the vice president of Atlantic Records, right? Mm-hmm. And finds out, okay, this is what's going on. Carl Kanar's got a $2 million retainer with Virgin Records, you know, and it's all based on 100% of the music that they heard is what y'all produced. Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, so if he was able to pick up that phone and find that information out within a minute, mm-hmm. Where do you think his strongest relationships are? With us sitting in that fucking room or with the execs at them labels?
Of course, the execs at the label.
So unless that lawyer is a good man,
right?
You understand what I'm saying? Unless mm-hmm. that lawyer is a good man at the core, we still at they whim.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like we still ain't got no control because we gonna believe what this man is telling us, and they telling him what to tell us. Mm-hmm. So, not to say that's what he did, but the opportunity was certainly there.
Yeah.
You know, and we went in the phone book and found a lawyer. So if we went in the phone book and found a lawyer that had that kind of access, what you think you're gonna get if you get a real lawyer? He was a real lawyer, but if you know what I mean, right. Get one that's suggested to you, that's already been moving in the game, that's got this.
Right. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So
you already know.
Yeah. So you almost gotta find somebody that's in college, in law school, and come up with them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they don't know nobody.
Yeah, they don't have no connections.
They don't got no connections.
Yeah, man.
Catch 22, rocking a hard place.
Yeah.
It was a catch in a hard place.
Yeah.
Hey, man, but I feel bad for artists. You know, even the ones that's in good situations. Cause once you start turning your art to commerce, bro,
different game.
It's a different game. Over time, you're gonna love it less.
Yeah.
That's all it is to it. Over time, you're gonna love it less. And I think that might have something to do with what we talking about too. Like, you in a contract, you in the beginning, you love what you're doing so much. Over time, you take these beatings, you love it less. That contract starts to look like shit. I'm not willing to take this. You see what I'm saying? I'm not willing to feel like this to get this off based on that information no more.
Right.
You know, so it might not even really be a bad contract. It's just like I've taken lumps, and now that contract don't feel good enough to keep doing what I'm doing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, I honestly feel like that was Joe Button more than it being a bad contract. If you look at everything else he's done since then, once that shit don't feel right no more, he out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that because it wasn't because even with him, I don't think his argument ever was that it was a bad contract with Def Jam. Right. It was they just wouldn't let him put out the music he wanted.
That is true. And in his mind, that's a bad contract.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think what we during this conversation we kind of altered it a little bit. I think we could take out the word contract and just put bad business.
Bad business, yeah.
Yeah, ruin the quality of music. Mm-hmm. I think that makes better sense.
Yeah, man. It's like, and it's kind of sad because it's like we miss out on music that could have been great music that we could have gotten.
Yeah.
From artists that were broken because of bad business. Their actual spirit to create good music was broken due to bad business.
Yep.
We lost a lot of good music like that.
Yeah, we did. Like I said, I think Lauryn Hill was one of those. Mm-hmm. I think Lupe was one.
Lupe, yeah.
Joe Button. Even though he kept doing music, but yeah, it's quite a few. It's quite a few of them. It's quite a few of them. That I mean, if we just talk about affecting the quality of music, you know what I mean? Not that they didn't put nothing else out. It's a lot of them.
It's a lot.
It's
yeah.
a lot.
They put out music. It just wasn't good.
It just wasn't good. Yeah, like, because that means you throw Nas on the list. You throw Ye on the list. You throw... This list will be made up of legends, though.
I know.
Because you're really able to tell better when the person's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, it's more obvious when the person's great. Like, if this happens to Kendrick, it's obvious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, now you're going to make me go back and listen to people's discographies different, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just hearing people's... Especially when they got a nice amount of albums.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like, damn, they won't happy.
Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah, you could tell shit. In my opinion, you could tell in Tribe's next to last album, The Love Movement.
Yeah.
You can hear it. Something ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
Something ain't right.
Oh. That's funny.
Yeah.
That we put Wu on the list too.
Yeah.
After let's just be clear. After Wu Tang Forever dropped in '97, they never made a classic or good album after that. The W had 3 good songs on it. It was a terrible album. And then I don't even remember none of this other weirdo stuff they released after that.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Like the Wu-Tang crazy album, man. Nobody listened to none of that stuff.
I'm gonna tell you, I know one person.
But you know what? It was bad business. We're gonna blame what's your man name on the yacht?
Divine.
Yeah, it's bad business. You know what I mean? Like Cavadonna, Ray, ODB, goes to Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? People not happy with contracts, and you see what happened.
Yeah.
We only got 2 good Wu albums.
That's a fact. Bro.
Now individually, when they got their own other deals, they were fine. They all put out good albums, but as a collective,
that was it. They got 2.
Yeah.
2. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I never heard a Wu album after Wu Tang Forever. I swear to God, I don't know what none of them other shit sound like. After Wu Tang Forever, it was a riznap for me, but it's like, okay. Okay.
I knew they weren't gonna be good when it came out. Yeah, the W was their 3rd one.
Yeah, I remember it. I didn't hear it. Wasn't that the one with Gravel Pit on it?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah. It had like 3 good songs. One with Nas went insane on it.
Okay.
But yeah, that was it.
Damn.
But that's just bad business and how it killed the creativity.
Yeah.
And with the quality of music.
The crazy thing is that's bad business, but I'm like, damn. It's all right, this is a sidebar.
Okay.
How was Devon supposed to write them contracts? Was he supposed to not sign them to Wu-Tang Records and goddamn the production team? Like, was he supposed to go out and find them niggas other managers and sign them to management?
No. I don't think that he was wrong for signing them to how he signed them, right, to the management and the label. I think from their perspective, they wanted more
equity.
Yeah. I think they wanted more equity and just straight money up front, or from their sales, whatever, however you look at it.
Yeah.
And they was like, nah, we still want to keep 90%. Nah, I don't know if it's that 90%.
They should have spread it a little, especially if they was already getting money. They should have spread it a little more equally. Like, why not? We brothers. Like, what difference do it make?
Right.
That's easy to say when it ain't millions of dollars hitting your bank account every other day. That's true. And you ain't got to stop having millions. You gonna go from having millions of dollars hitting your bank account to have 250 hitting that motherfucker. You like, shit. These niggas was fine before. The hell they... You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I understand it. I understand the position, but see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about this when this mixing the spiritual with commerce.
There you go. And y'all up here hollering brothers. Like, y'all up here hollering brothers. It ain't no way in the hell one brother's supposed to be making 75% of the bread, and the rest of them is splitting 25%. I don't know that that's what's happening, but any number that ain't even is retarded.
Right, but and it pretty much was like that because when Ray talked about the Wu wear, he was like they always put up. I forgot what they were supposed to put up 10 or 15,000. They all did it. He said we was under impression we was selling man units. We thought we were supposed to be getting more. Find out we ain't really getting it.
They ain't even. That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? So bad business will ruin the quality of music.
But watch this now, because we're talking about Wu, so I'm going somewhere with it. So Steve Rifkin fought for them.
I know.
Right? And we know that from the series. But Steve Rifkin also started loud. He put out Big Pun album, Capital Punishment.
The Alcoholics. The Infamous.
Who else? Ray came out on loud.
Yeah, The Infamous.
All of those people. Now I'm mentioning that to say he must have been doing at least fair business because it was producing good quality music after and all of those people still have good relationships to speak highly about Steve Rifkin.
Yeah, and not only do they speak highly of him, you've never heard a peep about Steve Rifkin doing bad business.
Exactly.
I'm talking about not even a peep.
No, I've never heard it.
Not one word.
Right, and when you look at that label catalog and what they gave us some of hip hop's best music.
Absolutely.
So that makes the case that good business, going to give you a good quality product, and everybody, it can be a win on both sides for the exec team and for the artist.
That's right. I feel like Steve Rifkin was one of them rare ones that could, if you told him to close his eyes and play the music, I think he could pick the right song though.
I think so too.
You see what I'm saying? I think he's one of the ones that could pick the song, be like, yo, wait, the fuck is that though? You see what I'm saying? I feel like that kind of shit. And adversely, I don't think Suge Knight could or cared to.
No, I don't think he could, nor do I think he cared to.
You see what I mean? So, yeah, you're right. And adversely, you hear all types of bad shit about what was going on over at Death Row. Contracts and beatings and having to drink piss and all types of wild shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it, you heard about people being salty leaving Bad Boy. Yeah. I don't buy it.
Yeah. Well, what we do know, but I agree with you. Now, 15 years ago, I would disagree.
Right.
Today, I'll agree with you. And you know why? Because of everything that we just laid out.
Mm-hmm.
All of those, from Black Rob to the Lots to, what's my man name?
Loon.
Loon, but not even Loon. Because I didn't really hear him say much.
Mark Curry.
No. So Black Rob and G Dep.
Okay, G Dep. Yeah.
Everybody that put out music after they left, the quality was not good.
That's a fitnap. I don't care who it was. If you was on Bad Boy
and Money, Power, Respect is still Lock's best album.
Exactly. That's exactly right. They did their best music on Bad Boy. Album. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I don't believe it, because their quality of music was way higher when they was with Bad Boy.
Yeah. I don't believe it because I think what they signed was a regular music industry contract. I don't think he put nothing in it that was, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
heinous. I don't think he put nothing in it. It's just like, God damn, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think he put things in that was in Bad Boy's favor. He wrote a contract that was in Bad Boy's favor. You didn't negotiate the fucking contract. You see what I mean? Right. You ever heard the producer, one of the hitmen, Young Lord? They was talking to him. I think he's in some documentary. It might even be on Netflix. Okay. But he was talking about his relationship with Puff. And he said him and Puff was cool. Like, that was his man. And he was over there, making beats with him. And he was like, yo, you nice. So Puff offered me a fucking contract. to be one of the hitmen. He said, I looked at the contract, and it was Raping You Records. But Puff is mad. He gave it back. He was like, yo, Puff, I'm not signing that shit. And he was like, all right, cool. You trying to go to the club?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, it's just business, bruh. Like, if you sign it, that's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to sign it, though.
Right.
I'm not going to dislike you. I'm not going to, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be no problem. It's just business. Now, if he'd have handed it to me, I probably wouldn't have signed it either. You see what I'm saying? But obviously, the Locks did.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, I can't be mad at the man because he gave you the opportunity to read it. If he blindfolded you, put a gun to your head and be like, yo, sign this shit and make records, then that's different. But if ain't nobody did that, then I can't be mad because, you know what I mean? Like, you dumb.
Yeah,
Snoop was dumb early on.
Yeah, he was. But see, so that's my other thing. So, okay, here's my question. I agree with what you're saying. I understand the logic behind what you're just saying, right? Nobody forced people to sign it. But still, that's my question. Is that bad business when the person know that the people don't know anything and they're also in a desperate state, usually coming from the street, so they're looking for any way out. So you know you have the upper hand, right? Yeah. So is that ethically wrong? That's bad business?
That's business. Okay. Let's not be talking about black people.
Okay.
All right. And you take that same scenario and you apply it to any other business in America, and you ask me, is it bad business for a person with the advantage to take advantage of the advantage in a business situation?
No, that's simple. That's capitalistic America.
All right, then what?
That's business as usual.
That's business as usual. So when black people do business as usual, when there's other black people involved, like I guarantee you, if we was doing that business and Justin Bieber was the one complaining, wouldn't nobody give a fuck.
Right. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But now, because that's business as usual, my question still remains, is it bad business though?
It's not ethical. It's not morally right.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Like, it's not morally right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I put it to you this way.
I got it.
I'm in the process of trying to put back together the music company that we ran, right?
Yeah.
But my goal is to do it in a way where we don't have to own their masters, where we don't have to, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's my goal. Mm-hmm. So yes, I feel like you could do it in a more ethical way. Mm-hmm. Is it absolutely unethical to get all the coins on the table? Probably. You see what I'm saying? But we ain't, probably.
Yeah. And I'm just asking the question because the reality of it is we can't expect perfection out of an imperfect world. So we can't expect it so much, right? You know what I mean? But it was just, just part of the conversation.
No, those are good questions because it may appear that I'm caping for the label side. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not. I would much prefer for them to be ethical and be fair and be moral. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they are not going to do it. So why keep trying to hold?
Still want to sign with them.
Facts. So why am I going to try to hold their feet to the fire when I got access to the fucking artists and I can tell them to be smarter?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like I can't depend on a lion to be gentle when that ain't his way.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Like I need to know how the fuck the lion act and act accordingly. That's all. That's why I hold the position that I hold. You see what I mean? Like if you do decide to sign with my company, you should be smart enough to apply pressure to me and be like, bro, you know that shit ain't right.
Yeah.
If you ain't smart enough to do that, then you don't deserve to have a contract that tells me it ain't right. Especially if you're willing to sign it.
Yeah. Right.
This been going on since the 60s, since the 50s, since the 40s. People been getting raped at record labels. Right.
That's true.
You see what I mean? God damn, when the fuck niggas gonna start reading?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? Like we've learned the lesson that when a cop get behind us, we all get nervous.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But we ain't learned that record labels is gonna rape you yet.
Right.
How much evidence do you need? You see what I'm saying? Like, God, no. So that I think that's where thing come from. But yes, bad business does ruin quality music. Business ruins quality music.
Yeah, business. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bad business. Nah, I think business don't necessarily ruin it, because if business done in the most pure and correct way can shield the artist from the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can shield the artist from the bullshit. Because a label, if you got an artist that don't want to do press, like that's shy, that's going to catch depression, that dealing with a whole lot of extra shit fucks with their spirit, then you should figure out how to make that artist successful without them having to do any of the shit that makes them uncomfortable.
Right.
Like, that's what a label should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a catapult for great art.
Mm-hmm.
Not a machine that milks the artist for everything it could possibly can.
Right, and then throw them away.
And then throw them away, or don't even worry, just shit, leave them where they fall. They don't even worry about tossing them out. Like, if you fall, and that's where the fuck you at. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just keep it moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what a label should do. Like for instance, Dreamville should be protecting Ari Lennox from whatever it is that's making her feel like she's feeling to go on these rants.
Yeah.
When she go on this rant, they, instead of looking at her like, damn, you did it again. You see what I'm saying? They should be like, okay, so what are you going through that makes you feel like this, and what can we do to prevent that shit? So that you can be the best artist possible. For you. You already signed us, so we gonna get the bread.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, damn. You know, so I think that's part of it. I think that being that shield, being the educator, I gotta write this shit down, because maybe that's what this conversation is teaching me what the hell writer's block needs to be. You feel me? Like, for one, it's got to be a shield.
Shield.
What was the other thing I just said?
The educator.
Educator, yeah. Yep, a shield and an educator, and a shield, an educator, and whatever springboard it is for the art itself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes sense. And I mean, I imagine some artists won't even know what they need to be shielded from until later.
Yeah, when they start running into some of them obstacles.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you get in front of a bunch of cameras and somebody twist your words up real bad, and you like, yo, I hate these fucking interviews, and now you got anxiety, don't want to, because I think that's what she going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to promote, the labels don't really understand how to promote you without putting you in front of somebody that want to talk to you.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So they send out on these interviews. The interviewer don't know her that well, but they do know her music a little bit. You know what I mean? So they ask her wild ass questions, because she write wild ass songs.
Bro, that's the other thing. If I'm your label and I'm your media, if I'm your media coach, if I'm Dreamville media coach, I'm gonna tell you, Ari,
yeah,
you always be talking about this stuff. You already know, if they sit down with you, just know that this is coming. They're gonna try to use something from your song and ask you about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, you should know that people gonna ask you based on what you have put out to the public.
That's a fact. That's a fact. They ask gangster rappers, did they kill something? You feel me? Like, they don't, they don't hold no punches with them niggas. So if you on here and you talking about giving head and, you know what I'm saying, riding dick, then damn it, when you come talk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, that's probably not all she sing about. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I have the right to ask the damn question because you wrote the words.
Right. And I listened to it. You put it out there for me to consume.
Right. Just like I got the right to ask the questions if you wrote about killing 1 million niggas. I get to ask you if you actually did that shit. If you dumb enough to say, yeah, that's your problem. That ain't my fault.
Yeah.
I didn't write the words.
Yeah.
But for a conversation to say how does bad business ruin quality music, it seems like we pretty hard on artists though. Like,
but I think it's funny because I think it's between the both of us. I think it's fair and balanced on both sides.
Yeah, I think
making
so.
Everybody assume responsibility.
Facts,
which is how it should go.
Facts, because that's true. That's true, because I think the labels do have a higher responsibility, and I think as black label owners, we got to stop acting like the same people that sold niggas into the slave trade.
Right.
So I understand where your question comes from about whether it's ethical or moral. I get it, because
Yeah.
if you going through the same, if you using the same practices as the white man at the labels, then damn it, then you ain't no better, than you worse than him. Especially if you know better. So I totally understand it. You might as well go and snatch slaves off West Africa and put them on the boat yourself. You know what I mean?
All your artists be from West Africa.
West African, you know what I mean? That's it. The Ivory Coast ass artists. You know what I mean? But I do it, so I do get it. You know what I mean? I just it is, you do have a, I'll put it to you this way. I don't know that you have a obligation to do it. Right? I don't see that you're obligated to do it. I do feel like you're obligated to do it. Okay. This is where I see the obligation line. You're not obligated to go out your way to make a situation better. Right? Mm-hmm. I feel like you are obligated to be fair. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And there is an obligation for you not to be unfair. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Your only obligation is to be middle of the road. Like, I can't. And with that, if they're offering standard record contracts, that the same shit that RCA would offer you, the same shit that Atlantic would offer you, if it's standard, and you sign it, and your ass ain't happy with it, it's your fault. Because if you signed it at Atlantic, and you signed it at RCA, and you signed it, it would be your fault. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to put that on Puff or on QC, or I'm not doing that. Right. You see what I mean? Yep. Now, if you want to be the type of label owner that gives your artist an advantage because you've seen the other side, I'm okay with that too, because I think that's how I would be. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's an obligation. Right. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I don't think that's an obligation. But yeah, I don't know, man. What you think? Yeah, I think we covered it all, man. Yeah, I think we did too. It from a few different perspectives too, because I know most people, I feel like most people would read that statement, how bad business ruins, you know what I'm saying, quality music. Yeah. And almost all of that would be tearing the label face off. Right. From most two people having this conversation, I think that's what we get. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they definitely deserve some blame. White and black, but it ain't. I don't think it's just on them. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Artists, everybody, regardless of what side you fall on, have to take accountability and responsibility. Yeah, I think so. And I think, especially if you know how to read. Say what now? I said, especially if you know how to read. Facts. Especially if your ass know how to read, and if you don't know how to read, you don't need to be writing songs. Yeah. Right. You got a couple steps that you need to fill in before you get the songwriting, like writing. Mm-hmm. Yo, I just thought about this. I remember Prince. His argument with the label, it was the same thing. It wasn't an argument about like the album requirement and all of that. It was the stuff that he wanted to release. Yeah. It was the same thing. You said they couldn't come to, agreements on that. Right. And because they owned everything, they could dictate. Right. And that's what pushed them over the edge. Yeah. The fact that, okay, wait a minute. Y'all, not only do you own the music, you own me. Like my name. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like that shit pushed him over the edge. As it should. Mm-hmm. I wish more people had been awake to that example. I was awake to it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I did think it was crazy for writing slave on his face. And I thought the symbol was nuts. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I thought it could have been executed differently, but I understood what he was doing. And I also understood that most people around me didn't understand what he was doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? They just thought the nigga was crazy. For real. Yeah. For real. Because that's how the media painted him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I portrayed him.
Yeah. So and anytime you stand up for yourself, most times that's what they're gonna do is paint you as crazy. And he was eccentric enough for it to fit. You know?
Real well.
Yeah, real well. So, but yeah, you're right. That was what that was boiled down to. And had they not have exercised that little bit of creative control over him, I don't know that he would have ever gotten to the bottom of the fact that he didn't own all that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if they'd have just let him do what he wanted to do,
yeah,
but they can't. Yeah, they humans is gonna mix in. They gonna mix in. They gonna figure out where they play. What you know what I mean? They gotta have a role to play in that too. You know, like what role did I have in that success? None, bro. Like this was rolling for you got here, but okay, you know. That's another thing too, that if you got it rolling for the label got there, there's absolutely no reason for you to be talking crazy 3 to 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
If you got the ball rolling and the label came to you, I should never hear you talking crazy. If I hit
right, that means you had the upper hand.
That means you had the leverage. If I hear you talking crazy, then you extra dumb.
Right. That means you really did something wrong.
Yeah. Super stupid. Stupid with a cape on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, da stupid.
Yeah.
You know? So that's how I see. Like, if you had the ball rolling and then 3 or 5 years later you mad at your label, you was an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So, artists, I hope all artists that see this episode is like, well, I don't want to be one of them dumb niggas that they talking about.
Right.
So what do I need to learn to keep myself, you know what I mean, out of the dunce hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, anything in closing?
No, the only thing, man, is the main thing I'm excited for now in hip hop music is Pusha T forthcoming album.
We didn't bring that into this conversation. You know, he's this is last one on Def Jam.
Yeah.
Kanye let him sign himself out of the deal, I guess, or is this?
Yeah, and he got his masters. Yeah,
he got his masters and all that. That's wild.
Yes.
Huh? Can I ask you what do you think is gonna happen to the quality of his music now that he's away from Def Jam and Good?
Well, I actually still think he's gonna still get production from Ye for sure, but so Pusha is very good, and I think he's learned a lot over the years. Yeah. So I think the quality is his music will stay good or great or grow.
I think it might grow.
I don't think it'll be backwards. I think he has a good ear. I think he's been around long enough, and I think he knows the right people to consult with when putting projects together, so that he won't make the misstep of his quality of his music going down.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that probably would have been my exact answer. I think that's true. Yeah. I think Ye will probably get less to do with the music going forward. You know what I mean? I can see Ye having less to do with it, but I think that might even be a good thing.
Could be.
You know what I mean? For Pusha, because him going to Good, I was looking for the Ye influence on Pusha T's music. Like, you see what I'm saying? I never really got it. I never really got it. Like, Dark Twisted Fantasy was supposed to be Pusha's album, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that level of album with Pusha's level of penmanship is what I wanted for a Push album. Never came. Yep. So I feel like instead of traveling down that road, tumbling, and every once in a while you hit something that's real, you mean like a Daytona, or you know what I mean? Like, not to say he did bad albums on Good, but he never did the one. Daytona was the closest thing to the one.
Right.
So I'd be excited to see Pusha away from Good music, like, and away from Def Jam.
Now you put it like that, me too. Yep.
You know what I mean? I think he learned what he wants to learn. I think he went there for that level of excellence and didn't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think he's gonna aspire to it.
So he's also is so I didn't see that, but is he also just naturally he's stepping down as the president?
You know, I don't know, but I would hope so. I would hope so.
Pretty sure it's the case.
Huh? Yeah,
I said I would think that would be the case. It would make sense.
me too. And I hope so because I'd like for him to not focus on anything good. You know what I mean? I want him to be selfish. Like stop doing anything good related. Like you're not them anymore. You're not Def Jam. You know what I mean? Like let it go and go get in your world.
Right.
Go create your world.
He's good. Oh man, he to be honest, this sounds funny because you would think next to the billionaire musical genius, his career would have soared even more. But no, his career, I'm just thinking, is about to just really take off, man.
Out of here.
It's gonna be crazy.
Out of here, bro. It should be out of here. Like there's no reason why it won't be out of here. He's positioned in every place. You know what I mean? Like he's across the board. He's got the respect of the underground. Like he's got respect of the hustler. His pen is one of the nastiest of all time. Like
absolutely.
I asked my girl the other day the top 5 coke rappers. Name one above Pusha T. The only
just
one.
Jay.
That's the only one.
Jay and then it's Pusha T. That's
Jay, Pusha T. And then you get into your Jeezys and your T.I.s and you see what I'm saying? Like straight up coke rap though.
Right.
Jay-Z, Pusha T.
And that's why I'm saying it's going to soar. We would have got, I'm going to be real with you, we would have got more Drug Dealer Anonymous songs if he wasn't on good music.
Yeah.
Jay would have been on Daytona if it wasn't on good music.
Yeah. You know how I know that also? Because you know who produced Drug Dealers Anonymous?
DJ Dahi.
Nah, Timberland.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure DJ Dahi.
Yeah, it's Timberland.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and so you know the VA connection.
Yeah.
And you know Jay-Z and Timberland's relationship.
Right. And I know that Neptune's I think, did he specifically say Neptunes or did he just say Pharrell? I think he actually said Neptunes is working on the album. But either way,
the new one?
Yeah, the new one. He said I think he said Neptunes, but maybe he said Pharrell. But I thought he said Neptunes, as if to evoke Chad West. But either way, this is just telling me that's just making me more excited now that I'm thinking about just all the connections.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dahi did do that.
Okay.
Dahi did do that. Because when you said it, I'm like, wait, because a lot of times I hear Dahi and think Timberland.
Right, but like,
which is nuts.
But Timberland did a bunch of other ones for him though.
Right.
On that Darkest Before Dawn album, like with the Biggie sample, lyrically, that joint. Yeah. And Q-Tip gave him a crazy one up there. Like it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, he gonna eat good off good music.
Yeah.
Eat good off good.
Yeah.
Eat good after good. Better after good should need to be the name of the album.
I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Better after good. Because it's the truth. You good and you get better.
Yeah.
Double entendre.
Right. Yeah. I think it's gonna be, and he said it, he said it twice now that it's gonna be the album of the year.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Hey, he was talking that trash on when Daytona came around too, and it didn't disappoint.
Right, that's true.
You know what I mean? He was talking that talk.
Yeah, let me say this because we've entered into the new year, right? 2022. Right. What was your favorite album of 2021? Let's close on that because I can tell you mine.
My favorite album of 2021. It's a tie between Call Me If You Get Lost and Vince Staples.
It's funny. So it's funny. So my favorite album, 2021, hands down, Call Me If You Get Lost.
Word?
You ain't touching that, man. You know what I mean? And that boy is seriously bad.
Yeah.
that boy is a problem all around the board.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All around the board, from
Yes,
production to rhyming, to song arrangement, to
Yeah.
themes,
to visual, like
the visual.
from across the.
He's the problem.
He's right now. He the baddest boy in the game.
Absolutely.
If you talk about the most well-rounded hip hop artist right now, like in the game, ain't nobody fucking with Tyler.
Nah, not at all.
Producing, you know what I mean? Producing, rapping, putting like you said, putting the themes together. Come on, man! Like the visuals, the promotion that goes around it. It's all him. It all makes sense. It all draws you back to him, man.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and I love it. I love the Vince album so much just because it's so listenable.
Right, and so that's what I was gonna say. I love the Vince Staples album.
Yeah,
I love the album.
Yeah, but you're right. If you want to show enough, the best album is called Me Get Lost.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I will tell you this. So it goes without saying we're looking forward to the Kendrick project. That go without saying.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for Pusha T, and I'll be honest, I'm more excited for this album than Kendrick, which is Boogie. I can't wait. His new album is coming.
Is it?
And
okay. Yeah, I'm
super,
looking forward to
another dude that's super creative, super artistic. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that I know is coming. Boogie. I'm looking forward to Tana Talk 4.
Tana Talk 4. Yeah.
Looking forward.
I like
to
the way
Talk.
it's going, and I need to just say this. We need to keep Harry Fraud away from our favorite artists. And I'm gonna just leave that there.
It's the truth, though.
It's the truth.
It's the truth, though. I don't understand it.
No, we do. We figured.
Yeah,
we found
did figure
out
it
why.
out. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we figured out why.
Yeah, we did figure it out. Yeah, we did figure it out. That's true. That's true. God, nobody knows. Oh man, I heard something the other day. I need you to look up Ron Brow's discography, dog. He did music that we did not know he did, son.
Word?
Yeah, like some salt and pepper shit, like old shit. Like that nigga been around for a long time.
Hey.
Yeah, like he been around for a minute, yo. He did some old school shit. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Discography. It's weird that.
Let's see how far back it go. Oh, it's only got one thing.
I know, it's weird. Why does it only got one thing? That's crazy.
Sheesh. Oh, he did. I think he did Ebonics.
For Big L?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think didn't you text me that? I think you texted me.
Did I text you that? Okay, yeah, he did. He did Ebonics. So. That's what it was. Like he been around that long.
That's wild.
Right?
And I did not know that. I had no clue.
That is absolutely nuts. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say 1998 to 2000. The only things they have listed is Big L and Ether.
Yeah.
But it blew my mind that when I seen that he did Ebonics, I was like, wow. I gotta stop talking so much trash about that man.
I know.
You know what I mean? Every time I want to talk trash about a producer, I end up having to put respect on their name.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
But yeah, man. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and let the people know. You know what I mean? They can find us on all socials at Conversate For A Few. I don't care if it's Facebook, I don't care if it's Instagram. We're on all your streaming platforms. If it's Spotify, if it's Apple Music, Stitcher, all that good stuff. We're absolutely on YouTube, so please subscribe and share the show with your friends on all platforms. Stay tuned for the limited edition Few Tang Clan merch.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And shout out One of One Boutique. We still working with the boys at 101 trying to get it straight, man. Trying to put it together. Hopefully this COVID could go the hell on somewhere so we can get, you know,
we can move around.
Back in the, move around, get back in the real groove of things, man. Record in person and doing all that good stuff. And shout out to Port Exchange too.
Port Exchange.
Yeah, rocking that Port Exchange gear. You know what I mean? Them my boys, salute. With that being said, yo, I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This was not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely was not. This is a podcast about hip hop. Make room for the tag.
Conversate for a few.
Hustle. Welcome, man, they had to send me. Hustle from Raleigh, live from NC with your hosts, John and Alan. Relate to the two. You are now listening to Conversate For A Few. Check it on SoundCloud, debate with your crew. They talking hip-hop from the late to the new. From July till June end. No Fridays for me. Tune in. Please listen to this podcast. 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 Please listen to this podcast.